Hey, welcome to this video where I'm going to explain a lot about what this final project is going to entail for technical writing. So, first things first, I have all of the information regarding the final project uploaded into our course shell. So if you see here, I'm in my technical writing class. If I come down to resources, it'll bring you to all the different handouts for the class. If you scroll down to the bottom, there should be a section called Final Project, and what is uploaded there are the 3 rubrics for the 3 deliverables and the instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the instructions, and we're going to go a little bit into them. The rubrics, I'm going to leave that up to you to go ahead and look through. So when you first pull this up, this is going to be an introduction. It's going to tell you what you're doing. It actually gives an example of what you could do. So you're going to work individually in order to design and create a 3-dimensional document. And by that, what we're saying is it's going to be a presentation, a written document, and some type of graphic. You have to use your graphics effectively and your document effectively in order to communicate persuasively and successfully in your document. So what you're going to do is select either an object, a game you have in your head to design, or a service, and you are going to basically make that the topic of your project. So for example, this project looks at Coca-Cola, and you can read through. I'm not going to read it to you, but it goes into the colors and the font and things like that. Now you're going to select, again, like I said, a physical object, a video game concept, a service. The things that you really have to concentrate on are your audience. Who does this object target as an audience to own the item? Who does the message of the item target? You need to understand a purpose, and what purpose does the item have, and an occasion. So why make this object now? What makes it relevant? What makes it new and exciting? What moment are you participating in making this design? So you can do whatever you want. You can do a parody design if you want. I recommend to follow the outline that comes at the bottom though when we talk about it. Few different things you can do. You can do something from scratch. If you have an idea for an invention type object, or a video game concept, or a new service that you would like to offer, that's fine. Also, if you would like to make an improvement upon an existing object or an existing video game or an existing service, that's fine as well. The third option is to just choose any object, video game, or service that interests you and complete the final project on that. The learning outcomes are down here. What's the point? I'll let you, again, read through that. You don't need me. Coming down here to page 3, though, we have the project requirements. So the requirements are a 3 to 5 page technical document. This document is going to be submitted in the course website. I would like it as a PDF and a Word document. This is going to be submitted prior to your final presentations. These are going to be shared with your colleagues, and we're going to do something really cool when it comes to the presentation. Along with that written technical document, you do need some kind of graphical document to accompany your product or service. Now, this could be your PowerPoint presentation for your oral portion of this. It could be a brochure. It could be an infographic. That's up to you, but it does have to be a graphical representation. This graphical representation is not due until after you do your oral presentation. You need to use this in your oral presentation. So there are some questions in the instructions to help you get started to develop. What, so what, now what? I do want pictures in your technical document, so make sure you add them and comment them and label them properly. For extra credit, down here at the bottom of page 3 and the top of page 4. Ready-made designs include those designs that are existing, okay? If you adapt, recontextualize, or repurpose something for use, or it is something completely out of the ordinary, you'll get extra credit, okay? So If you make your own and go outside the box and really put yourself out there and really come up with some good concepts and audiences and things like that, you will get an extra credit. If you just use something out of the box where it's like a Coke bottle, you're not going to get extra credit. So if you have any questions about the extra credit, make sure you email me. On page 4, some other requirements. There are a few different due dates that come in here. Your topic approval is due by January 28th, or this Friday, and it is to identify your tentative design and for me to approve it. There is a draft of the final technical document due on February 11th. Feel free to also send me drafts of your graphical document as well. I am here for feedback. That's just for feedback, and make sure you're on course. Your final report is going to be due February 25th, and we're going to have 10 to 15 minute presentations on March 2nd and March 3rd. Along with those presentations, your colleagues and the other students are going to be allowed to ask questions of you, so make sure you are prepared for that. Once you are done with your oral presentation, please make sure you submit your graphical document as soon as your presentation is over. Okay, so you'll no longer need that. That's at the very latest. You can submit it ahead of time if you would like. Now, what do we put in our deliverables? So, you must include the following documents when you submit your final draft. So, within the technical document, there needs to be an audience profile. You need to do an analysis of your target audience for the object you design. Go watch the lecture for chapter 2. We talked all about audience and purpose. The other thing is that your technical document needs to have at least one sketch, picture, some type of graphical representation of your object in the document. Okay, at least one. If you have more, you actually end up getting more points. Make sure you check the rubric. Show up to that March 2nd class with your finished design as your finished object. Make sure you are ready to present it to the class and you are ready to answer audience questions. At the end of this document, there is a word explanation of the rubric, which kind of gives a little bit of insight into what I am looking for in this document. But let me go ahead and pull up the first rubric and I will go over it with you. Here's the first rubric, and it is for the actual technical document. You can see here all of the different criteria that I'm going to be looking at. And along the bottom, in order to get an A, a B, a C, or an F on the technical document, just make sure you stay within these parameters. Now, the graphical document, we're going to be looking for creativity, craftsmanship, composition, and the effort that you put in. And again, we can show you down the columns how many points you need to get an A, a B, a C, or a D. Finally, the oral presentation. Here is where we're going to concentrate for that, those last 2 days. We're going to look at content, organization, completeness, grammar and mechanics, documentation, delivery, and the interaction that you have with your classmates. Here again, you can see how many points that you need in order to get an A, a B, a C, or a D. If you have any questions, please make sure to review all of this documentation and shoot me an email. I'll be happy to have a meeting with you at any point in time to discuss this. Don't forget, your first due date is going to be Friday, January 28th, and it's going to be approval of your topic. So, any questions? Shoot me an email.